The rise and fall of Sade the Wayward Girl. In the old quarters of Arimo, one of Abadan's oldest and most vibrant areas, lived a girl named Sade Kanmu. Sade was the third of 6 children in a cramped, noisy household. Her father, Baba Kanmu, was a retired civil servant who spent most of his days sitting under the mango tree near the junction, drinking sepe and playing drafts. Her mother, Aya Sade, sold eco and moin moin by the roadside. Life was hard, but somehow they managed to eat once or twice a day. From a young age, Sade was different. While her elder sister helped in cooking and hawking, and her younger brothers fetched water and sold sachet water, Sade would stare into the mirror, dance to Fuji music, and admire herself. She always said, "I can't suffer for what? I'm too fine for stress." She attended St. Agnes Grammar School, but rarely paid attention in class. Her uniforms were always tighter than necessary, and boys followed her like flies to sugar. By the time she was 16, she had started sneaking out at night to attend parties at Dugby, Challenge, and Agbowo. Sade's first serious fall from innocence came the night she followed her friend, Ronk, to a nightclub in Bodija. Ronk was older, sharper, and already living the runs girl life. That night, they met 2 big boys who drove a shiny Toyota Camry and claimed to be oil workers. They ordered drinks, smoked shisha, and danced suggestively. Sade ended up spending the night with one of them, Uncle Deji, who gave her 20,000 naira the next morning. Her eyes widened. Huh, 20,000 naira just for one night. That was the day her journey into full prostitution began. With the money, she bought new clothes from Begi Market, braided her hair at a salon in Makola, and got a cheap phone. She stopped going home regularly. Sometimes, she'd sleep in a hotel in Sango. Other times in her sugar daddy's houses. She began posting seductive pictures on Facebook and later Instagram. She tagged herself Sade Slay Queen Abadan. Soon, she was invited to Awambi parties thrown by Yahoo boys and rich politicians. At these parties, she met men who offered her trips, phones, and dollars. She slept with married men, cultists, even a police officer who paid her with fake money. She moved in with Ronk in a 1-room apartment in Orita Mefa, which they called the Palace. But behind the smiles, makeup, and flashy pictures, Sade's life was getting darker. One night, she met Chief Whale, a wealthy man in his late 60s who promised her a trip to Dubai. He came to their flat in a black Prado and told her to follow him to his mansion in Alalabosa GRA. The mansion was eerily quiet. He offered her red wine and asked her to bathe in a golden bathtub. She laughed nervously and obeyed. In the middle of the night, she woke up to find him chanting in a room with candles and a strange drawing on the floor. Terrified, she tried to escape, but he caught her and smeared something cold on her chest. "You're special," he whispered. The next morning, he gave her 200,000 naira and dropped her at Iwo Road. But after that night, strange things started happening. She'd wake up with bruises. She began seeing shadows in mirrors. Once, she fainted at a party in Ring Road, convulsing violently. Ronk took her to a herbalist in Okadu, who said her soul had been tied. "You have entered a covenant. You are now a spiritual prostitute," he said. As time passed, Sada's body began to change. Her once glowing skin became rough. She grew thinner. Then came the fever, the constant cold, and the cough that wouldn't stop. She ignored it until one day, she collapsed in a hotel room in El Eel. The doctor at UCH told her she had HIV. At first, she denied it. "Me? Sade Slay Queen? HIV co." But the tests were repeated. The result remained the same. Her clients began disappearing. Ronk was arrested in a drug raid and taken to Kirikiri. Sade was alone, broken, and confused. She couldn't go home. She hadn't spoken to her parents in 2 years. She'd used up all her money on antibiotics and treatment. One cold morning, dressed in torn leggings and a faded t-shirt, Sade returned to Arimo. Children ran from her. Her skin was pale, her eyes hollow. Her mother screamed and fell on the floor when she saw her. "Yezu, is this Sade?" Her father cursed the day he first sent her to school. But Aya Sade, with a mother's love, took her in. She gave her umla and yudu, washed her clothes. and cried every night as her daughter coughed in the corner. Sade began attending a small church in Arimo. The pastor preached about forgiveness and new beginnings. She wept bitterly, confessed her sins, and asked for God's mercy. She started helping her mother sell food. Some customers would whisper and mock. Some refused to buy, but others, especially older women, prayed for her. She lived for 2 more years. In those years, she became quiet, humble, and deeply religious. One morning, while helping her mother carry a basin of moin moin to the junction, she collapsed and died. Her funeral was simple. A few neighbors came. The pastor read from the book of Psalms. Her mother cried uncontrollably, holding Sade's faded picture. The streets of Abadan, which once echoed with her heels and laughter, soon forgot her. But the young girls in Arimo still remember. That's where Sade Slay Queen used to live, they whisper. Some of them are already taking the path she took, and the streets of Abadan wait for their next victim.